Can't decide if I look like pale because of the lighting or if I'm just really that anyway, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a few weeks and I'm sorry, life has been crazy with midterms and projects and all of that stuff, but we're back. And today is UC Berkeley Decision Day 2021, which is so exciting. I know that a lot of colleges are going to be releasing their decisions today, so I just wanted to hop on here and make this video. I figured I want to give you guys the full picture, and especially now that I have had 3 years under my belt at UC Berkeley as a student, hopefully this will give you a little bit of an insight as to what it is actually like and kind of my take on some of the concerns I had when I was a freshman, now that I've had a while to actually experience it for myself. Just a quick disclaimer, these are all my own opinions and my own experiences. Obviously, this is gonna change no matter who you ask, so I hope that this is helpful to you. Please definitely subscribe to my channel. I will be posting a lot more videos like this throughout admission season, and also just more vlogs about my life in college to kind of document my memories, and follow me on Instagram because I am getting better at it. So there's the little plug, and let's get right into it. So for those of you guys that don't know, I am Seneca. I'm a third year at UC Berkeley and I study molecular and cell biology. Originally when I applied, I was on the pre-med track and I was still studying molecular and cell biology. Pre-med at Berkeley is more like a set of classes you take and it doesn't really matter the major. So I've actually had friends who are like econ or history or psychology who are also pre-med. They're just not like the biology major that you typically would think of, I guess, when you think of that. So the first and probably like the biggest thing that really held me back from choosing UC Berkeley was really the like rumors that you kind of hear when you're a senior in high school about how competitive and cutthroat Berkeley is. You might see these on Reddit, on YouTube, or even from friends that already go there. And I'm not gonna lie to you, over my 3 years at Berkeley, the vast majority of my classes have been extremely collaborative. People are very willing to help you if you don't know the subject as well, or you need a little extra clarification on the homework. And this is really something that I want to reinforce. Like, the majority of my classes have been amazing. However, the reason that you hear all these stories is there are certain classes, and this is not a Berkeley specific thing, I know that all of the UCs do this, many schools around the world do this, is that in certain classes you'll be graded on a curve. And so what this means is that there is an average that is desired by usually the department or the professor or the class, and in order to get that particular average in the course, the student's distribution of scores has to be shifted around in order to meet that average, so that you can have like a certain number of people getting A's, a certain number of people getting B's, and a certain number of people getting C's. Again, this is not Berkeley specific, so please keep that in mind. Usually this happens in STEM subjects where maybe the desired course average is a B, so let's say an 85, and the majority of students are doing really well and their average is actually a 90, so they'll have to bring down that 90, which would traditionally be an A-, to an 85, which is the B. So that can be really difficult. Keep in mind that most classes are curved in a way that actually helps students. So it would be going from, say, an average of an 85 to a desired average of a 90. But there are certain classes that I've taken and that do exist at Berkeley, but at many other schools, where the average might be shifted down in order to meet the department's desired average. One tip that I have for these kinds of classes is kind of something that you might not think, but it is to be collaborative. Even if the department is trying to get a desired average, surround yourself with people that are going to help you, that are going to form study groups with you, and that have your best interests at heart and really just want to learn the material, because ultimately, it's all about how much you learn, not what average you meet or whatever, even though I know that that is, of course, a concern that many people, including myself, will have. Based on my experience being in a few of these types of classes, the best way to go through it is just to really surround yourself with people who are going to lift you up, and you will see those results pay off in your final grade. No one's gonna steal your textbook, no one's gonna delete all your notes from a Google Doc or try to sabotage you. It's just that the majority of students at Berkeley and at many other schools are extremely smart, and so yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but college is difficult and you will get through it. Surround yourself with good people, and as always, you feel free to comment down below or DM me if you have any questions or want any further clarification on this. So another thing that I had kind of heard about when I was considering going to Berkeley was I thought there wouldn't be any housing for like continuing students. I thought that like we would get out of the dorms freshman year and then just be cast upon the street, or even worse, that I would not get a place in the dorms because I thought that there was just such bad of a housing crisis. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know a single freshman who has not gotten dorm housing. Like, I know that there are horror stories that circulate, but in recent years I really can't like think of anyone that I've met who hasn't gotten housing in dorms. There are a ton of dorms available. They're constantly building more. So I would say that apply to the dorms, you'll probably get a spot. And also my personal recommendation is make your application reflect what you actually want. For example, my roommates and I, when we applied, we were like, sure, we're fine with being on an all girls floor or an all same gender floor. And if that's not something you want, don't check that box. They have enough housing to not give you that. So definitely just think about what you actually want out of your dorm experience and make sure your application reflects that, because they have enough housing to accommodate you. Also, I think that a lot of the times the rumors about continuing student housing being so scary come from just high school students and like not really knowing how apartments work and how renting works. I promise you, by the end of your first year in the dorms, you're gonna be ready to move out. Most people are. At least I was, and I think that there are a lot of really cool options for afterwards. Like, you can live in the co-op system and Greek housing if you're in Greek life. Most people just live in off-campus apartments, and while the apartment rental process might seem really scary to you right now as a high school senior, I promise you it's not that bad. There are a lot of really like close by properties in Berkeley that are privately owned, and you'll kind of get the hang of, you know, touring apartments, applying to them and all of that just by talking with other students. Somebody told me when I was a senior in high school, like, hey, you know, Berkeley has been around for like, I don't know, 150 years, and somehow people have found housing all throughout that, so why should that change this year? And I honestly can say that is true. That being said, Berkeley is really expensive. Like, rent prices are ridiculous. So my best recommendation for housing, especially after your freshman year, is to start looking really early, like in January or February, just to kind of get a feel for what's out there, and so that you're not stuck having to pay a premium for a ridiculous like studio apartment with 4 people in it by April. So the next thing that I think that I was really hesitant about when I was thinking about going to Berkeley was definitely the safety. So I come from a very small town, and Berkeley is in a little bit more of an urban environment. It's like across the bridge from San Francisco, about 30 minutes away. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, I'm never gonna be able to walk outside at night and blah, blah, blah. But honestly, Berkeley has a huge nightlife. Like, the restaurants are all open until like 11, 12, 1 in the morning. And so it's definitely a place where at night there are a lot of people out and about, and this is good because you are surrounded by people in case anything were to happen. But I can say that it's a city, so it's important to, you know, be aware, be conscious of your surroundings, walk with friends. There's also a service called Bear Walk where you can like go on your computer or your phone and ask for like an escort, and like another student will come and basically walk with you to wherever you're going. I used this pretty much every night my freshman year, and I think that it's pretty good, though sometimes the wait times are really, really long, so it's just easier to walk with friends. Yeah, I think another really great resource is to like share your location with a few of your friends. I know this all sounds really scary, but I promise you this is gonna be the same no matter where you go to school, especially if you go to school in a city. Like, I think that these are just things that you kind of learn to do. So my last kind of general thing that I wasn't really sure about when I was thinking of committing to Berkeley and that kind of held me back was that I didn't really feel a spark or connection to the school right away. I know that there's kind of a rumor or like a folktale that goes around that's like, when you visit the school that you're supposed to go to, you'll know. And I didn't. I think that a lot of people don't, and that's totally fine. Like, especially if it's your first time ever visiting someplace, first impressions can be deceiving, and you want to make sure that you're really taking all the factors into consideration. It's a two-way process, so, you know, you have to put the effort into loving the school just as much as the school put effort into choosing you to go here. So I think that for me, I kind of looked at it and I was like, you know what? Berkeley has the best molecular and cell biology program. I'm gonna go there and I will figure it out as I go. You can always transfer if you absolutely hate it, but I think that personally it has been a great place for me to be. I also just recommend, because obviously a lot of you won't be able to visit the campus this year, is to go online, go on to the Facebook group, the class of 2020, oh my god, 2025. Go onto the class of 2025 Facebook group and like introduce yourself, get to know everybody else, and that'll kind of give you a sense of like who you're going to be spending the next 4 years with. I think that this is what I did, and that's like literally how I decided to go to Berkeley. I know it sounds really stupid, but it didn't even require visiting the campus, though that can also help. I think that college is really about the people, especially at Berkeley. It is a very crazy 4 years, a really crazy experience as a college student, and the people that you surround yourself with really make it what it should be and make it that much better. So get to know each other, check out the Facebook group. This is like completely my own advice. This is just what I did and what worked for me. But I think that if you don't feel like a spark or connection right away, just know that you're not alone. There are a lot of people in the same boat as you, and I know that right now, being online, experiencing Berkeley probably through a screen or through YouTube can be a little daunting, so please feel free to reach out to me if you are an admitted student. I am totally happy to chat with you in my Instagram DMs or in the comment section. Also, just jumping on here one more time, one thing that I really want to stress is that college admissions and decisions especially is a very, very personal process. You don't owe it to anyone to tell them what colleges you got into or you got rejected from or got waitlisted from, and ultimately it is your decision. So really just take the time to reflect on what you want to get out of college and what place is going to be best for you in that regard. And I send you all of the best of luck to make this decision, and I'm sure that no matter what you choose, you will prosper and do well. With all of that said, those are basically my main reasons why I was really cautious to commit to UC Berkeley, and kind of my take on what I know now as a student. I think overall I'm extremely satisfied with my decision to attend UC Berkeley. It's not been easy, I'm not gonna lie to you. College isn't easy, and that is true for wherever you go, but it is a very enriching experience. And for those of you that will be choosing Berkeley over the next few weeks, go Bears. I'm so excited to meet you. Please, please, please DM me if you want absolutely anything, like if you want to talk or just kind of get another perspective on everything. I would love to meet you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below if you are an admitted student. If you have absolutely any questions, I'm totally happy to answer them. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!